Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiriyet. Shravamatam sakatha krishna punye shravana kirtana hardantaistu bhadrani vidhnoti sursatam nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining. We are continuing our reading on Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on canto third, chapter 15 and text number 15. Okay, we'll start. So we'll ask Vindavali Mati will like to lead us.
Sure, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yatra chadaya puman aste Bhagavan Sabdagochara Sattam Vishtabhya Virajam Swanam no Mridayan Varshaha Yatra chadaya puman aste Bhagavan Sabdagochara Sattvam Vishtabhya Virajam Swanam no Mridayan Vrishaha Yatra chadaya puman aste Bhagavan Shabdagochara Sattvam Vishtabhya Virajam Swanam no Mridayan Vrishaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
यत्र चाद्यः पुमानास्ते भगवान् शब्दगोचरः सत्वं विष्टभ्य विरजाम् स्वानां नो मृदयन् वरुषः.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
यत्र चादयः पुमानस्ते भगवान् शब्दगोचरः सत्वं विष्टाभया वीरजां स्वानां नो मृडयन् वृषः.
Hare Krishna.
यत्र चाद्य पुमानास्ते भगवान् शब्दगोचरा सत्वं विष्टभ्य विरजं स्वानां नो मृडयन् वृषा.
All right. Anyone else would like to say? Yatra chadyapuman aste Bhagavan Shabda Gochara Sattvam Vishtabhya Virjam Swanam no Mradayan Varshaha. Synonyms: Yatra, in the Vaikuntha planets, Cha, and Adya, original, Puman, person, Aste, is there, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shabd Gochara, understood through the Vedic literature, Sattvam, the mode of goodness, Vishtabhya, accepting, Virjam, uncontaminated, Swanam, of his own associates, Na, us, Mradayan, increasing happiness, Vrashaha, the personification of religious principles. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: in the Vaikuntha planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original person and who can be understood through the Vedic literature. He is full of the uncontaminated mode of goodness with no place for passion or ignorance. He contributes religious progress for the devotees. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The kingdom of Supreme Personality of Godhead in the spiritual sky cannot be understood by any process other than hearing from the description of the Vedas. No one can go see it. In this material world also, one who is unable to pay to go to a far distant place by motorized convenience can only understand about that place from authentic books. Similarly, the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky are beyond this material sky. The modern scientists who are trying to travel in the space are having difficulty going even to the nearest planet, the moon, to say nothing of the highest planets within the universe. There is no possibility that they can go beyond the material sky, enter the spiritual sky and see themselves the spiritual planets Vaikuntha. Therefore, the kingdom of God in the spiritual sky can be understood only through authentic description of Vedas and Puranas. In the material world, there are three modes of material qualities: goodness, passion, ignorance. But in the spiritual world, there is no trace of modes of passion and ignorance. There is only the mode of goodness, which is uncontaminated by any tinge of ignorance or passion. In the material world, even if a person is completely in goodness, he is sometimes subject to the polluted by tinge of the modes of ignorance and passion. But in the Vaikuntha world, the spiritual sky, only the mode of goodness in its pure form exists. The Lord and his devotees reside in the Vaikuntha planets and they are of the same transcendental quality, namely Shuddha Sattva, the mode of pure goodness. The Vaikuntha planets are very dear to the Vaishnavas and for the progress march of the Vaishnavas towards the kingdom of God. The Lord himself helps his devotees. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरदस्य ज्ञानंजनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितां येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचरणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्तुषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तवतार भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। यत्र चाद्यापमानास्ते भगवान् शब्दगोचरा सत्त्वं विष्टभ्य विरजं स्वानाम्नो मृडयन्वशः। In the Vaikuntha planet is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original person and who can be understood through the Vedic literature. He is full of uncontaminated mode of goodness with no place for passion or ignorance. He contributes religious progress for the devotees. So here is mentioned about the place or Vaikuntha which is free from passion and ignorance. So in the material world where we are right now currently, this material world, which is one of the material universe, in the material sky there are many universes are there, and this where we are, it is one of the universe. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that this material world is a product of external energy of Krishna. It's the external energy of Krishna which is Maya Shakti. Hmm. So this Maya Shakti has these three modes, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance. Hmm. So in Brahma Samhita, it is said that Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. If you see that in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma offered the prayer to Lord Krishna and saying that Srishti, Sthiti, Pralashadan, Shakti Reka, Chhayev Yasya Bhuvanani Bibharti Durga, Ichhanurupam Apyasya Cha Cheshtate Sa, Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. So this Srishti means uh, creation. Sthiti means maintenance, and Pralaya means destruction or annihilation. So this Srishti, Sthiti, Pralashadan, Shakti Reka. This is one energy. These three things is done by one energy. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralashadan, Shakti Ekaha. One energy. Uh, so this, what is this energy? This is external potency. Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Bibharti Durga. And what is this energy? It is shadow. It is Chaya Shakti. Chaya, in Sanskrit, Chaya means shadow. Shadow, like a person have a shadow. When there is light, you can see a person's shadow. Similarly, this external energy is shadow of Krishna, means behind Krishna, not in front of Krishna. So behind Krishna, the shadow of Krishna, this external energy works, and his name is Durga. Ichhal Rupam Apyasya Cheshtatesa. And the shadow energy only works completely under control of Krishna. Maya Dakshina Prakati Suyate Sa Characharam Hetu Nanina Konteya Jagat Viparivartati. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that this external potency of mind, Maya Shakti, only works in my direct control. Maya Adhakshena. Adhyaksha means control. Adhi Akshaha. Adhyaksha means which basically controlled by, complete control by the Supreme Personality of God. Adhyaksha means like controller. So this external potency works under direct control of Krishna. And in this material world, this external potency manifests three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita very detailed explain about these three modes of material nature. So in Bhagavad Gita, one of the, as Prabhupada mentioned in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 topics that Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita. One is Ishvara, second is Jiva, the third is Prakriti, then Kala and Karma. So this Prakriti, which is basically this material nature, have 3 modes of material nature: this goodness, passion, ignorance. And these 3 modes are spread everywhere in this material world. Everywhere in this material world. So anyone who is living in this material world get affected by these 3 modes at certain point of time. So here Prabhupada says that in the purport, if you go, Prabhupada says that there is nobody in the material world here who is not affected by these 3 modes in this material world. Even if somebody who is in pure goodness, see, it is said that in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that these 3 modes are like ignorance or tamoguna is like a wood. Tamoguna or ignorance is like a wood. So if you get a wood, simply getting wood will not give us like our purpose, like our life in a life. Just wood, getting wood is not is just one base thing. Then when the wood, we burn the wood, first the smoke comes. And then after the smoke, when the fire comes, the fire is very beneficial to all of us. So it is, this example is given by Suta Goswami in first canto, second chapter. So he said that These three modes are like this. He compares ignorance as the wood, passion as the smoke, and fire as the sattva or goodness. He's saying that wood is definitely helpful, like ignorance, but better than wood or better than ignorance is passion or rajoguna, which is basically like a smoke. But better than smoke is fire, sattva. So these three modes are there, and in these three modes, uh, the most beneficiary for human being or the living entity is goodness. Out of these three modes, goodness is the best for the living entity, because when a person come in goodness, he get a chance to understand Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see, like uh, we just basically observed the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. So you see, Srila Prabhupada wrote a poem when he was on Jaladuta, and he composed a poem, and in that poem he said that when he saw the skyline of uh, Boston area, when he was there in when he was coming to the Boston harbor, he see the skyline, and then he wrote this poem and saying that, "Oh my Lord Krishna, this world, especially this Western world here in the United States," he said that this world is basically full of passion and ignorance. This world, especially the Western world, is full of passion and ignorance. So, and you brought me here, Shil brother, as if he's chatting with the Lord. He's saying that you brought me here, Krishna. I know you have some business here. Otherwise, why would have you brought me here? Why would you have brought me here? If you have some business, that's why you brought me here. And and you brought me here, there must be some business here. And so you use me as you like. I'm a puppet. You make me dance as you want. But one request Srila Prabhupada says that, make my words suitable so that they can understand the message of Vasudev. Because in passion and ignorance, people cannot understand God. In passion and ignorance, it is difficult, no, very very difficult, or rather impossible to understand for a person that who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, or he become a God conscious. So the Sattva being the prominent, if somebody comes in Sattva, then they will get an opportunity to understand the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when Prabhupada saw that there is nobody in the mode of goodness here, so how they will understand the message? So he exclusively prayed to Krishna for that. That he said that I pray to you, my Lord, so that you make my words suitable so that they can understand this. Means Srila Prabhupada especially requesting for this all the fallen conditioned souls in this, especially in the Western world, so that whatever Prabhupada's words comes from the mouth and from Srila Prabhupada, that we can really go into our heart. And that's a power actually. And Krishna granted that power. Whatever Prabhupada wrote, whatever Prabhupada gave, every word is like a spiritual gem. Every word. So that is a power, that why? Because Srila Prabhupada prayed Krishna that make my words suitable so that they can understand. And that's why we see Prabhupada, each and every word Prabhupada gave is so powerful. And they are in such a pure goodness. They are Satshuddha Sattva. But even though people who are in passion and ignorance, they are able to understand. People are so fallen in this material world here, especially in the Western countries. People who are eating meat, drugs, illicit sex, and so many gambling and so many problems are there. But still, when they read Srila Prabhupada's books, they understand. They try, their heart change. Because this is a special power in the words of Srila Prabhupada, that Srila Prabhupada especially asked. Otherwise, Vedas or scriptural knowledge or the word of God, only people who are in Sattva they can understand. Rajoguna, Tamoguna, it is not even allowed. Like they won't even, it won't even go in their heart. It just block the ear and they won't even enter. Because in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that we will understand God or Krishna through our ears only. If you don't have ears, it's very difficult to understand God through ears. Pravishta karan randena. God will enter in our heart only through the ears. Even though God is there in our heart as a Paramatma, but as a Paramatma, he is neutral. He's non-active. He's not really, as a Paramatma, he's not really that much interactive. But when we hear the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shranamatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridantaisto Bhadrani Vidnoti Sursam. When we hear the message of Krishna, the Vedas or the scriptures, through our ears, Krishna will enter into our heart and clean our heart. So here, in order to understand God, in order to understand Krishna, who is beyond these three modes of material nature, we, the living, we are all the fallen conditioned soul, we are in this material world, we are infected by these three modes. Anybody, as I say, in this material world, they are affected by these three modes. But beyond this material sky, there is spiritual sky, which is the Vaikuntha world. There, Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that there's no traces of, not even traces. There's no point. There's not a. There's no question of having passion and ignorance there. There, only goodness in a pure form. Hmm? But in material world, Prabhupada said that even if somebody is in mode of goodness all the time, still he get affected by passion and ignorance. So in this material world, you will never find anybody who is in the pure goodness. They get affected by passion and ignorance here. Even tell Lord Brahma. So here, it is very difficult to, or it's impossible to find pure mode of goodness here. So the only place where the pure mode of goodness is this Vaikuntha, or the place there. So here in this say that, and in this Vaikuntha planets, Lord Krishna resides. That is the eternal dham or eternal place or eternal home of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And before this and when the Lord creates this material world, then he gives this charge of this goodness, passion, and ignorance to Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. These three deities or three personalities, they become the controller of three modes. Means somebody who is in mode of passion, basically he will derive his benefit from Lord Brahma. Somebody who is in mode of goodness will taken care by Lord Vishnu, and somebody who is in mode of ignorance will basically taken care by Lord Shiva. But Srimad Bhagavatam says that the out of these three, look, the goodness is best for all of us. Here in this purport, in the translation, Srila Prabhupada says that he contributes religious progress for the devotees. We will make spiritual progress only when we hear about Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who is in pure mode of goodness. Even though Lord Vishnu is here in the material world, he has his own planet, Shweta Dvipaha, is in the material sky, which is I say a, a replica of the Vaikuntha world here. He is in pure goodness. Lord Vishnu is in pure goodness. So, if we want to make spiritual progress, we have to basically take shelter of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Other deities, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, or Durga, or Ganesha, or all other demigods, they are basically have some tinge of effect from other modes, goodness, like passion and ignorance. But Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is free from these three, free from this passion and ignorance. They are in complete pure goodness. So if we really want to make progress in our spiritual life, we have to basically take shelter of Lord Krishna. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharmana Paritajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So Many times devotees ask this question that, even in the Vedas, there is a description of worship of various demigods, various demigods. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second canto, chapter number 3, and verse number 1 to 10, Sukdev Goswami also explained that in Veda there are different places mentioned that to get this thing you worship this demigod, to get this thing you worship this demigod, get this thing you worship this demigod, like that, like that. So which is there in the Vedas? It's not that it's not in the Vedas, but point is that those are all material things that that you can get from the demigods. Demigods cannot give you bhakti. They cannot actually like give you this pure devotional service. The demigods can give you some material progress. They can give you some material benefit. So only way we can become a devotee or we can basically make spiritual progress is when we come take shelter of Lord Vishnu. That's why even Sukdev Goswami says that akama sarva kamobha moksha kamo udhardhi tivrena bhakti yogena yet purusham param. So one person asked me the question that like what is the problem in worshipping demigod? Uh, I say like Srimad Bhagavatam says that the problem with worshipping demigod is that you will not make spiritual progress. You will make material progress. You might have some material benefits out of that, but you will not make spiritual progress. But when you come to Krishna, when you come to Lord Vishnu, not even you will make material progress, you will make definitely you will make spiritual progress. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritano arjuna artho jigyasu arthati jnani cha bhartarshava. Krishna is saying that the four types of people come to me. Who is artha? Artha means who is having some problem, who is basically having some kind of like distress, some kind of problem that he's going through. So artharthi means who is looking for money, power, name, fame, whatever, and Jnani, who is knowledgeable, and Jigyasu, who is inquisitive. So Sukdev Goswami says that whatever you want, whether you are akamaha, whether you have no desire, means you are a devotee. If you are a devotee, you should have no material desire. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavartam anukullina krishnanushelanam bhakti uttamaha. If you are a devotee, then you should follow this pure devotional service. So anya bhilashita shunyam. You should free from all the desires, right? Then we can perform pure devotional service. But even if you desire, if you are a kama, that's fine. But if you are even sarva kama, whatever desire you have, you still worship Supreme Personality of Godhead. And moksha kama, if even you want liberation, you come to Lord. So if you go to demigod, they cannot give you moksha. They cannot give you liberation. They cannot give you pure devotional service. They can give you some material benefit. That too also given by Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that the benefits given to the people in this material world by the demigod are actually given by Krishna. Is actually given by Krishna. It's not that demigod they can give anything from their own side. Whatever demigods have in their possession or in their power is actually given by Krishna to them, and they can give that to their devotees, but only in certain quantity, not unlimited quantity, because they themselves are not unlimited. Like Hiranyakashipu, he want to become more immortal. He want to become immortal, but Brahma say, I am not immortal. I cannot make you immortal. Or like ask some other benediction. Then he tricked Brahma with the various benedictions. He thought all the permutations and combination to become immortal. But what happened? He was killed by Lord Nrsimhadev. So these like even in Ravana, he offered his heads to Lord Shiva in the sacrifice to and please Lord Shiva. And after pleasing Lord Shiva, he became the king of this Lanka, and he was like a golden city. But still, When Lord Ram was there to kill him, Lord Shiva did not protected Ravana. He said, no, I'll not protect because Lord is here to kill you. So means the you can get material benefit from the demigods, but you to certain extent, and that too also given by Krishna, and that too also limited, and they are also not auspicious. The another point is that the benefit given by demigods are not auspicious for human being, because they ultimately end up in a wrong thing. Because by doing worship of demigod, their heart will not become purified. But when you worship Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, not even you will get material benefit. The main point is that you will get spiritual benefit and your heart will become pure. There are many examples like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva, he actually left his kingdom, his father's kingdom, because he wanted a kingdom greater than his great grandfather. He was looking for material benefit. He was looking for a kingdom, money, power. He left the kingdom, and then by the inspiration of Narad Muni, he worshipped Lord Vishnu. And then we'll see what happened. After 6 months, he was able to see Lord face to face, and his heart will become completely pure. He became a pure devotee. And not even pure devotee, then Lord gave him the kingdom of Dhruvaloka, pole star. He become the he become the like a resident of the pole star or Dhruvaloka, and he's still there. So Lord gave him the material benefit, plus main point is that Lord gives is that he purify your heart and you become a pure devotee. That is the benefit of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the Vaikuntha planets. And how do we know about that? We see in this material world here, one in the first paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says that because kingdom of God or the Supreme or the Vaikuntha is beyond this material sky, and by our material arrangement, the scientists they are trying to go to the sky. They're trying to go in the sky and they're trying to go to different planets, but they are not able to reach even properly on the moon. They just go to some place of moon and then they come back. They can't even stay there. So forget about going to other planets here. Mars, Venus, Neptune, Pluto, or Jupiter, Saturn is too far for them. Even if they go, even if they go, that's fine. Going to spiritual sky is another thing, because in order to go to spiritual sky, you have to come out of the 7 layers in the universe, which is impossible for a human, any living entity. So they cannot go beyond this material sky. So how they will know about the spiritual sky? So here Prabhupada say that only way you can understand the things where you cannot have your personal approach is through books or through when somebody comes and tells you. So here we are sitting here in the material world, but we can understand about the spiritual world through the Vedas. Vedas are the books that is given by Krishna in the beginning of this material world. He said that these Vedas will give information about how to live happily in this material world and ultimately eventually come back home, back to Godhead. So these Vedas are basically the authentic books which will give us the information about the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. Like Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, uh, that this spiritual world is basically, there's no annihilation there. Prastasmatu bhavanyo vekto vekta sanatana. This spiritual world is basically a different realm where there is no destruction. In the material world, we have creation, maintenance, and destruction, but in spiritual world, there is nothing like that. So this spiritual world is beyond this material sky, and there na tad bhashate shuryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva nivartante tad dhama paramama. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that spiritual world is not illuminated by sun, moon, fire, electricity. There's no need there. It is all effulgent, self-effulgent, or basically the effulgent coming from the body of Krishna there. So this spiritual sky, we can get this information from the scriptures, from the books, by hearing this. By hearing scriptures, we can understand, we can get the information about this spiritual world. So that's why these basically these are some of the points that Prabhupada mentioned here, that for all of us, if we really want to go in pure goodness, we have to basically take shelter of the Supreme Person of Godhead. and that Supreme Personality Godhead resides in Vaikuntha, which is beyond this material world, and we can understand that by hearing process. So that's why we should hear every day from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and all other Vedic literatures about Krishna and about the Vaikuntha planets and how to basically come out from these three modes of material nature, especially like how to come to first to the goodness and from goodness coming to the pure goodness platform. All right, thank you very much. I'll stop now here and let me see if anyone have any comment or any questions.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Like you said, this what Brahma said, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Jaktareka, Shayeva Yasya Bhunani Vibhati Durga Ichana Rupamasya, Happyest Chitrishatisa. So all these ones, Brahma said, the potency of Maya is always the nature of shadow of the Chit potency. So there is one thing in this material world, we have all the time Maya is behind us. And we try to do that, and that Maya sometimes overtakes. That is the one scary thing for me. I always think, I try to pray God, and some places, Maya will creating that destroying agency. So that Krishna has to protect us, and that's what we have to pray all the time. Even Brahma did that. So where is we? So that's what I thought so too, Prabhu. And then another thing is, Shravanam is the main thing. The more and more we listen to these things, the more and more we get into. So that's why Prabhupada said Shravanam Kirtan. First thing is Shravanam, then another one is Kirtanam. So that makes a lot of difference. Listening is the main thing. We should have that, pay attention and keep on that. That's what I thought. So, Prabhu, my little knowledge.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Shravanam is the main thing.
Thank you.
So we keep on listening to Bhagavatam classes or Kirtana, and then they like Brahma said all these things. Slokas, if you go by purports, everything, Prabhupada's purpose makes a lot of difference. It changes a lot.
Yes, Mata.
Not only Western country, Prabhu, in Indian culture also, it's going down. So
Yes.
we need to have this Shravanam Kirtanam every day. That helps a lot. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Anyone else have any other comment or question before we end?
Mataji made a nice point. And on this note, on her point only, I was just thinking, we see in our movement there's a lot of younger generation.
Yeah.
they're not eager to sit down and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, but or any lecture, Bhagavad Gita or something, but they're very eager just to chant.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what will you say about it?
The chanting is good, not a problem.
Yeah, Kirtan.
Chanting is like our primary process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu propagated the holy name, and he encouraged everyone to do so. Harinam Sankirtan. There is no problem about that. That's the main activity we have. But Shravan is very important. In order to do good chanting, you need to hear. So because without Shravan, what's happening is like if you don't hear properly, then we might become, we might go in a wrong direction in our chanting.
Yes.
So in order to, the chanting should be pure. We need to, in order to keep our chanting and our kirtan pure, we should understand and hear why we are chanting and what is the purpose of chanting. So Shravan is the first thing actually. Prabhupada, even in Prahlad Maharaj, put Shravan first. Shravan Kirtan. So Kirtan comes second actually. Shravan comes first. So
Yeah.
without, see, if you don't hear, the first thing that we have to hear is we have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is the hearing. That's why we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah.
If you don't even hear first thing that what to chant, then what we are going to chant. So when we get convinced that okay, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is to be chanted, then we'll chant. So Shravan should be there. So Shravan is the first thing. Without hearing, our spiritual journey doesn't begin. Right. So hearing is the first key, but again, what as Mataji mentioned, like what we do is basically because we just hear to chant Hare Krishna and then we basically start chanting, and then what happens is later, people get deviated. So rather than chanting Hare Krishna, they start chanting other things and all, and then what happens is with that they become start associating with people who are not even devotees. So this happens because we are not hearing properly. So along with chanting, hearing should go on. As Mataji mentioned, so we should have every day Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagava Sevaya, Nashta Prayasha Baddeshu Nityam Bhagava Sevaya. That should be there all the time, and then you can chant Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada, that's why Prabhupada very systematically establishes this Srimad Bhagavatam culture, that every day there should be Srimad Bhagavatam class. Otherwise, why Prabhupada would have put it? Prabhupada would have said just chant Hare Krishna and then it should be okay. Yes,
Yeah.
he said many times just chant Hare Krishna, life will be okay, but he still want devotees to hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. He want everyone to hear, because that way you will remain pure. You will remain pure. Your faith, your faith, your shraddha on holy name will keep increasing when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That is very important. Yes, Mata. Thank you very much for sharing that. Hare Krishna.
Very nicely said, Prabhu. Yeah, in the how you chant Hare Krishna and what kind of the purity should be there.
Yes, Mata.
But only by hearing the purity will come. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
See here in this Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. See, the third one is Vishnu Smaranam. It came. First Shravanam and Kirtanam first.
Shravan Kirtan is me.
That's very, very important. And then sometimes, Prabhu, I feel when I listen to any kirtan or anything, I think my mind goes in, I am little bit music oriented. So my mind goes to how nicely they are singing. First goes into nice thinking, listening to that. And then I want to sing like that. I want to pray like that. So that way my prayers go into that.
Yes, Mata.
So that is very, very important for anybody.
Thank you.
Prabhupada he made a very, very good purpose in everything. Very good meaning is there.
Thank you, Mata.
That's why he is, what is it, Bhakti Siddhanta. So Bhakti Vedanta Swami. That's why he got into that. Very nice. Every day listening to Bhagavatam. And if one day, if I don't say the sloka, I feel so much disappointed, Prabhu. I have to say every day that sloka in Bhagavatam class. So if I don't say, I feel something I lost. That feeling slowly, I'm getting. It was not there before, but I'm getting slowly, it's getting strong.
Sure, Mata. Thank you.
Wonderful, Mataji.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else have any other comment or question before we end? All right, if nothing is there, thank you all for joining today morning for Srimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you
have a
very much,
wonderful
Prabhu.
Krishna conscious day. Vancha
Kalpatarubhyasya
कृपा पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील